Hey friends, how are you? I am so excited to be going live tonight, and I am going to be bringing Julie Kimbrough on, Meal Prep Mamacita, and we're going to see if we can get this worked out. Let's see. All right, Julie, I am going to push my invite. Meal Prep Mamacita, there you are. I see you. I'm going to send the request. It says it's adding. Oh, it said the connection failed. Okay, let's try again. Or, Julie, can you see if you can, hey everybody, you know, it takes a minute to get all of the tech right. Julie, it might be a situation where okay, Meal Prep Mamacita wants to join the video. Let's see, I'm gonna approve you. All right, let's see. It says it's adding. Are you coming on? All right, let's see. Hey, everybody. So glad that you're here. We're just trying to get Julie on here. Sometimes it's a little bit tricky. Okay. All right, it says it's adding. Okay, Julie, sometimes we have to try several times. So let's try again, okay? I am going to, hey everybody, thanks for the hearts and the likes. We're gonna get this figured out. Let me see. Now, Julie, I'm gonna look for you. Is it gonna do it? Are we gonna be there? Hey, Margie. Hey, Renee. Hey, Mom. Meal Prep Mamacita said her fingers are crossed. We're gonna see if it happens. You guys, she is so amazing. Hey, Julie, let me tell you what I had to do the other day. I was on Tabby's page and I had to join under not my Miss Annie's Home and Kitchen. I had to join under my personal Facebook page. So I don't know if we need to try that, or you can send the request again. Hey everybody, we're just trying to get Julie on here, and like we said, sometimes it takes a minute. Let's see. Hey Jennifer, sweet friend. All right. Okay, so Julie, let's see. You want to try that? Daryl is in the other room. Daryl, do you see me?
I see you.
Okay. Okay.
You're always working.
I'm wondering though, do I need to not be on do I need to be on Wi-Fi or no?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's no problem in the house.
Okay. All right, Julie, let's try again. Hey, Dora. Hey, Roslyn. Hey, Susan. Thanks, you guys, for all the hearts and the likes. We have so many people here. I'm so excited to get Meal Prep on here. We're going to try again. Okay, everybody hold your breath. Fingers crossed. I just accepted her. It says it's adding. It says it's adding. So Julie, like I said, the other day, I wasn't able to get on Tabby's page using my Miss Annie's Home and Kitchen. I had to go over to my personal page, and I think we're friends there. And do you want to see if you can come on my live personally and see if we can join that way? Can you hear me? I'm wondering.
I think she said she's on her personal.
Okay. She is on her personal. Well, it's showing me as Meal Prep Mamacita though. Okay, let's try again, y'all. She is so awesome. I know it's going to work. I don't know why sometimes it can be a little tricky like this. Okay, let's try again. There's Julie. Okay. Oh, oh,
We got it.
yay!
Hey!
We got it. Okay.
Hello.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm sweating. Are you sweating? I was
I'm
starting to.
always sweaty. I can't, to have all this social media stuff, I can barely use my phone to call someone. I have no idea. I don't know. So
I know.
it worked on my personal.
I know. Awesome. Well, I'm so glad that you're here. So Daryl,
We'll see him from here down.
okay, so Daryl is looking at us and you can come in here, Daryl, and just tell me. So I'm where? Come see what I'm seeing.
Here, from here down.
Okay. Well, how is Julie? How does she look? Okay, Julie,
Right here.
can you come show us what you're talking about? And we'll get it figured out. So you're gonna have to adjust too according to Daryl.
Okay, sounds good. Just let me know.
Okay.
Okay, so
Show us your phone. Let me see it. Okay, this is what we look like. Can you see that?
I can see my hair.
Yeah. So you gotta
Okay, so I need
adjust
to back it
you.
up. There we go.
Do I need to back up, Dee?
you need to back up and this needs to come up a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that better?
That should do it.
Okay. Well, we're still seeing only Julie's.
Okay, let me kind of move this up a little bit. Maybe that.
You're like in the center.
Okay, I'm good. How
Yeah.
about Julie?
Annie's good. And Julie, you need to bring your camera up.
Up. Okay.
Oh, you're almost there. Maybe a quarter of an inch more. You're like almost there.
A little bit more.
Little bit more.
Perfect.
Okay, now he says we're perfect.
Okay, good.
Isn't that so weird?
Yeah, I don't know. I would
I
never
mean-
know that. I would just be doing a live and you could just see my hair. So I don't know.
Bring it up a little too far. She needs to bring it back down.
Okay, now Daryl said you came up too far and you gotta bring it down a tiny bit.
Okay.
Okay, what do you think? If you'll come over here and show us, it's quite helpful. He
There
just,
she goes.
is she good?
She's
Good.
perfect.
Okay. He said
Okay.
you're perfect and just stay
Awesome.
right there.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, it used to be not like this. It used to be what you saw, what you and I saw was
Yeah.
what it was. And then for whatever reason here in the last couple months, it just zooms everybody in.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's so odd.
That
Now,
is-
I've been looking at some of these names and I know some of them already follow you. Have you
Okay.
noticed that at all?
Well, so I have glasses and I wear contacts and I still can't see that far, I guess. I don't know. So I don't know who's on, but thank you, everyone. I'm sorry. I'll just kind of like get
Well,
up and look.
and sometimes I can see and sometimes I can't. And when you sit this far back, it is
Yeah.
hard to see. But
Yeah.
look how many people are on, over 700 people.
Crazy. That's awesome.
Listen, I talked about you this morning on my walk.
You're so
I,
awesome.
I told everybody that you were going to be on. And then I sent out a little reminder again this afternoon. You guys, thank you so, so much. And those hearts and those likes are so great.
Yes. So fun.
So Julie and I could just carried away. We could get carried away and just talk to each other, but
That's right.
I do want them to just get to know you a little bit better.
Okay.
Because I love you. I love your page. I love what you're about. So
Love you.
if you'll just take a minute and just,
Yeah.
I mean, I want to brag about you and then I'm going to let you add. But
Oh,
Julie,
wow. So I'm a mom of 3. I work full time. I'm a pharmacist and I'm about to transition from retail pharmacy at Publix. I've been there 6.5 years and I just recently got a new job at UAB hospital. So I'm so excited. I get to be home with my family more. I'm so excited. So I'm going to transition from more retail pharmacy to more clinical side of pharmacy. So I'm very excited about that. Yeah, I have 3 kids. I have a 9-year-old boy, a 5-year-old little girl, and a 2-year-old boy. And I'm busy. And I'm married. I've been married, 13 years now. It's crazy. It's flying by. And I'm just, like I said, I'm busy and I love to meal prep. One of my big things is I've been meal prepping for, like I said, the years are just flying by. I don't know. It's been over 10 years now. And I would just meal prep in pharmacy school, and I would have so many people ask me what I was eating, all these things. And I just decided when I got out of pharmacy school, how could I not only help people as being a pharmacist, but also help people with, now I'm not a dietitian or any of that. I don't have a degree in that, but I just know it works for me. And of course, being a pharmacist, I kind of know about the body and I know all the science behind it. So I just know what we should be eating. And I want to be able to share that kind of. I feel like moms in general are so busy, especially with all the kids and if they work, all that those things. And sometimes we forget about ourselves and taking care of ourselves. So I kind of wanted to start a way to share my recipes with everyone, and not just busy mamas, everybody, and just kind of say, hey, well, this is what I do. And I know sometimes meal prepping can be extremely overwhelming, and I just try to share what works for me and simple ways that you can meal prep. And you don't have to eat junk food, and you can eat healthy stuff, but you don't have to get crazy and think, oh, it's got to be all organic, this and that. I mean, you can really make great changes in the kitchen, and it just overall, it can just affect your health. So there's just so many benefits to it. So that's just kind of my passion, is just sharing my recipes, and I love to cook. So, and I want to make people healthy and let them know that they can be healthy and they don't have to follow all these strict rules and these diets. I don't like the word diet. So, I feel like my background in the medical field as a pharmacist helps as well. And then just kind of what I've learned along the way. And I just want to share that with everyone.
I know, and I love it. I love your page
Thank you.
so much. And I kind of mentioned this morning when I was walking, and it was so funny kind of how we actually met,
Yeah.
because I was at the park in Chelsea with my little
Mhm.
grands, and then you were there with your little family, and you came to me and you said, "Are you Miss Annie?"
I was so starstruck. I was like, David, told my husband, it's Miss Annie. He's like,
I know. And then what was so funny is, I fell in love with you right then, but then you didn't tell me that you were Meal Prep Mamacita.
I mean,
And it
I'm
was so,
nothing. I'm no one. I'm nothing.
well,
And I see you and I'm like, so yeah, no.
well, but then I went home and I looked up your page because we had swapped information with each other.
Yeah.
And then I saw Meal Prep Mamacita, and your page was so beautiful. Not just like your food just looked so good and so yummy. And then we set up a little meeting
Yes.
with
I
you
remember.
and me and Mama Sue and Angela Deaver, and had lunch.
Yep.
I can't remember. Was there anybody else there? I don't,
I
I
feel like
don't,
I'm one other person and it's awful. I'm like, who was it?
was it Melissa? It might have been
It
Melissa.
might have been Melissa. It
Or,
may have been.
and then I think you were
It
pregnant with,
was.
I think you were pregnant with Luke.
I was. I think we had just found out that I was pregnant, and I was
Yeah.
thinking, oh, a third child, we're gonna lose our minds, but it's okay. It's fine. But yeah, so I had just found out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So when I went home, and then I went home and looked, and then we met and had lunch together, and it was just so wonderful to just talk with you. But I can't remember, like, let's go back just a little bit. Like, why did you become a pharmacist? Was that something that you always wanted to do? But you tell us the
Yeah.
story.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, it's actually a funny story. So I had never worked, I didn't know anything about drugs, medications. I had never worked in a pharmacy. I didn't even know what working in a pharmacy was like. So I originally graduated from the University of Montevallo in 2009 with a bachelor's of business administration with a concentration in marketing. And I wanted to be just like a marketing director. I wanted to do international business and maybe be a translator and do Spanish. That's kind of what I wanted to do, but God had different plans. So I did some stuff in the business world, and I just felt like I don't want to work for or do something that doesn't bring me happiness or joy or passion. And so I got a job. It's the craziest thing. I got a job as a pharmacy tech at the CVS in Sylacauga, and I had no idea. I was like, I have a business degree. What am I like? I don't know anything about being a pharmacy tech, nothing about the pharmacy world. Well, anyways, I ended up meeting my husband that way because my manager is actually his cousin. So I met him. So I kind of feel like God just kind of does these things.
Like he always does. Yeah.
I loved being a tech. And so my manager, Joey, was like, you should go to pharmacy school. And I said, absolutely not. And he just kept pushing me and kept pushing me. He said, Julie, you would be such an amazing pharmacist. And so I kind of thought maybe. And so I told my husband, we were dating at the time. I said, what do you think about that? He's like, well, just do it. You know, if you think you want to do it, do it. And I thought, well, gosh, I'm older. And I think I was like 25 maybe, something like that. And I said, you know, of course I told my mom I wanted to go back to school because I always loved school and I always want to do different things. And she said, Julie Nicole, you cannot go back to school. So I convinced her. I was like, well, I want to do it. So, you know, I always had that in the back of my head. Well, am I smart enough for this? Am I going to be able to be successful? Like what? I don't even know anything about this. So long story short, I just feel like God, that is where I'm supposed to be. I feel like being a pharmacist is my passion. It's my joy. And oh my gosh, I have met so many people along the road. And I will say I had quite a few hardships during pharmacy school, like even to getting to pharmacy school. And I thought, well, gosh, I don't know if this is for me. I'm not smart enough. I can't do this. And somehow the good Lord, I've got chill bumps thinking about it. The good Lord, I got there and I got out and I graduated and I just know that this is where he has me and this is where he wants me. This is my passion. And you know, I never thought in a million years I'd be a pharmacist. I was like, I have no idea. I never knew anything. We didn't even really go to the pharmacy. So it's crazy how I feel that God has guided me here. And there's like I said, so many people that I have met during this. And then of course, I would be meal prepping in pharmacy school and had so many people ask me about that. So I feel like the journey to get to be a pharmacist and then the Meal Prep Mamacita thing, it's him. It's all him. And I owe it all to him. And I wouldn't be where I am without God because,
Amen.
You know, like I said, I doubted myself so much. And I was like, I am not smart enough to be a pharmacist because I'm going to tell you right now, it is the hardest thing ever to go through pharmacy school. And all of my pharmacy friends will tell you, it is very, very rigorous and it's 4 years and I had to do 2 years of pre-pharmacy. So in addition to my 4 years business degree, I had to go back and do 2 years of pre-pharmacy because I didn't do all the sciences and biochem and microbiology, all that. So I had to do that. And then 4 more years of just rigorous curriculum didactic courses in pharmacy school. And somehow, you know, I just kept praying because I had so many setbacks in pharmacy school, but I just kept praying about it. And I'm here and it's crazy. I'm here. Yeah. I know. And I just keep saying, well, wherever you want me, that's where I'm going to be. And I just have that motto with everything. It's just kind of like, well, everything happens the way he wants it. It may not be how I want it, but that's just kind of how it is. So that's my story. I was a non-traditional student in pharmacy school. I was one of the older people. So not the young, cool kids, but you know, I had the best time in pharmacy school and made some of the most amazing friendships. And some of my best friends today are from pharmacy school. So yeah, it was such a blessing for sure.
That is so awesome. And I mean, we talk about this on my page a lot.
Yeah.
A lot about God winks and a lot about how, you know, God writes a better story and, you know, things happen. And, you know, the whole reason why on my page we share Stronger Every Day and I Can Do Hard Things is because Daryl had a stroke. And while there are ups and downs in life, and it's just part of life, you know, I think being able to see that God is writing your story
absolutely
lifts you during those times of despair for sure. If you allow it.
And that's my idea about everything. You have 2 choices in life. You can be a pity party for yourself, or you can say, okay, well, I need to be the best person that I can be. And this is where God wants me. How do I make this awful situation into something great? So yeah, absolutely. It's his plan. So we're just here for a while, you know?
Right. And he always writes the better story.
Absolutely.
You know? That you're a pharmacist, never thought you would be, but it's your heart. And here's the kids.
Hello. The wild monster.
Hey, everybody.
Hi. All right, y'all say hey and then go back down there with Daddy, okay? Here's Luke.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey, Lou.
Want your truck?
Hello.
All right, y'all go back down. All right, I love you guys. Hey, shut the door. Yeah. They're wild.
I love it. I love it.
Hey, Daddy. Thank you.
Hey, Daddy. So were you married in pharmacy school?
Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember. I think I had just gotten married. Yes, I had gotten married the year before I started pharmacy school. So I was married for a year. And then I ended up having Eli my second year of pharmacy school. So I was a mama in pharmacy school too. It was crazy. And then my fourth year, we got pregnant with Anna Grace. So I was doing rotations while I was pregnant and working and remodeling this house while I was 7 months pregnant, taking my boards. And it was bananas. But somehow, I'm telling you, the Lord got me through it. And I owe it all to him because I don't know how in the world I took my pharmacy boards 7 months pregnant. It's like a 6-7 hour test. I have no idea. That's just one of the tests. So yeah, it's all to him for sure.
Amazing. Amazing. And so during that time, like, how did Meal Prep Mamacita come to be? I know you started meal prepping.
Mhm.
I do want us to kind of
Yeah.
talk a little bit more about dive a little bit more into meal prepping because we've had, people who want to know a little bit more because sometimes it can seem overwhelming.
Yeah.
You already talked about that a little bit and it doesn't really have to be.
Yeah.
But so you started meal prepping
Mhm.
in pharmacy school. Did it have a lot to do with, did you kind of start out eating like junk just to kind of get by and then you realized, wait a minute, I want to change this, or has that always been something that's been front and center for you?
I feel like it's always been something that's front and center because growing up, the main people was the main person who taught me how to cook was my mama. And basically just a Southern lady showing me how to like shuck corn and shell peas, like all of those things that we did in the summertime and, grow gardens, stuff like that. And so my dad is obsessed with gardens. My mom is obsessed with the garden and plants and all the things. And so I think just seeing those things growing up. And one of the big things that I'm very thankful for my mom, we had treats in our house, but she never bought like soda or just junk food. We would have cereal every now and then, but she worked in Birmingham and she drove to Silicaga, which is like an hour, and we would have dinner, we would have meals, supper. I mean, she would cook for us. And then eventually I got to where I could cook. And so it was just something that was just kind of instilled in me. So I never really would go out to fast food and do all that. Of course, we would have nights where we would do those things. Everybody does. So, and it was fun.
Right.
I really started meal prepping when I was about 19. So that's been, 20 years now. So I'm about to be 39. So I remember I started kind of getting into, I had never really worked out, but I started getting into working out and fitness. And I kind of learned, I kind of want to do that. Like, I want to take care of my body. I want to, fuel it and do the things I'm supposed to. And so I never really can say that I ate really bad all the time and just kind of ate junk and got tired of it, all that. But it got to where I would get on Pinterest and I would look at all these ideas and I thought, oh my gosh, I can make this stuff. It's so easy. Like, I can do this. And I know people who do not know how to cook at all. It can be overwhelming and stressful, but I just kind of thought, I can make this. This is easy. And then I just used the knowledge that my mom taught me over the years of putting foods together and kind of researching. And then when I got into pharmacy school, I started learning about our bodies. And there's so many things that go on inside of our body that people don't know about. And so just knowing the knowledge, just having, all of that background as well and doing the research that I did on my own, I was like, well, I'm just going to meal prep my stuff. I'm not going to go spend $10, $15 on a meal at, Arby's or wherever. I'm going to bring my food to school. And so I would bring my food to school. I even did that when I was at Montevallo too, but I think it really kind of hit home when I was in pharmacy school at Stanford. Everybody, it was funny because I could still hear my friends saying, oh, what's Julie got meal prep today? Or I would bring salmon or something, or salmon, however we say it. And they would say, that smells disgusting, Julie. I'm like, well, I've got healthy food. Y'all don't have anything to eat, and I'm going to be just fine because I'm not going to be hangry. So I can wait for them, and I'd have friends and they'd just ask me, what is this? So when I got out of pharmacy school, because it's been, I didn't have the Meal Prep Mamacita back then. And so my best friend, Michaela, we kind of talked. She wanted to kind of do some blogging and all that stuff. And then I was like, well, I want to kind of do an Instagram. And it's been, I think, 4 years now since I started the Meal Prep Mamacita, 4 years in July. And so I was like, well, Michaela, do you think anybody even cares about food? Nobody wants to see pictures of food. Like, nobody likes that. And so we just kind of were going back and forth. She's like, well, I'm going to do my blog, and I think you should do that too. And so that's kind of how it started. And the name just kind of came to me. I just prayed about it. And I feel like this is crazy, but I feel like my mama, I was going down the road and I said, you know, me and Michaela, my friend, we were talking about a name and for this whole thing, this whole crazy idea I had. And we couldn't really figure out anything. And then I was just driving down the road and it just like popped up. And I thought, oh my gosh, I want to do that. That's perfect. And so I got with someone from a marketing background. I kind of knew, you know, people like certain things, especially when you're trying to market your product or whatever
Right.
you're providing. And so I told her all of my ideas and how I love bright colors and all these things. So she just kind of made me my thing, just like the colors and the fonts like that. She said, okay, well, this is what you need. And I loved it. And since then, I just started putting my recipes on Instagram and then started doing Facebook and TikTok and all the things. And I just want to be able to share my recipes with people because I know it's so overwhelming when they hear meal prepping. And it has such a bad connotation sometimes. People hear meal prepping and they're thinking, well, I can't eat the same meals for 5 days, or I don't even know how to cook. But you can go to the store and buy a rotisserie chicken and shred the chicken, and you can make multiple recipes for the week. Or even like for me, I just meal prep 2 to 3 days, and that's it. And that's not overwhelming. And there are so many mornings. I know people probably see my pages and think I'm in the kitchen all the time and I'm making all this food. There are some mornings when I'm literally making my kids' lunches and I'm using whatever I have batch cooked, which I'll talk about too. I'll have some sweet potatoes or chicken or something left over, and I'm just throwing it all in a bowl. Or I have a thing, my ratio yogurt that I love, that's 25 grams of protein. I just chop up some apples. I'm making their lunches in the morning, and I'm making me 3 meals, at least 3 meals, at least 100 grams of protein. I'm making that within 15 minutes before everybody's going to school and all these things. So I just want to share with people that it doesn't have to take hours in the kitchen to make good food. You don't have to go eat out every night, and you don't have to go to fast food. You can make really healthy, nutritious meals in no time. And that's kind of what I want to do and what I want to share with people.
Yes, yes. So for those of you who aren't following Meal Prep Mamacita, I checked today, Julie, and you have such an awesome following over there on Instagram, girl.
Hey, I'm trying.
So if you're on Instagram, look her up on Meal Prep Mamacita, and also she's on Facebook, Meal Prep Mamacita, all the different places. But okay, let's just back up just a little bit because again, like you've addressed this a little bit, but maybe we can get into maybe more of the little nuts and bolts because you said you would talk a little bit about that. So we've got people who are, a lot of my followers, the majority of my followers are in their 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, but a lot land kind of in that 50, 60 area. We love our 70, 80, and 90-year-old. You guys just stay. We love you. But this is that age group and beyond where, you know, I mentioned this in my walk today. I mean, I've talked to Julie about Daryl and his health and his medicine and different things as we've walked through our journey. Hey.
Hey, buddy. He's trying to potty train, so he's carrying his potty with him.
Oh,
sorry. Okay. He's obsessed.
No, I love it.
Mama.
It's real.
Okay.
This is real life. This is Julie's real life.
Yes. Wow.
Anyway, so if you've got, you know, people who have never meal prepped before, what basically, and we're in this age group also where blood pressure is running higher. You know that because you see all of these people come in the pharmacy. Blood pressure, blood sugar, you've got people with cholesterol issues. And I know you and I have talked, which is part of the reason why I wanted you on here, which, you know, to visit with you was as a pharmacist, you see everybody coming in, but you also know that part of what would help them with blood sugar, cholesterol, and blood pressure is some lifestyle changes.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about like the meal prep part of it and trying to make it more simple, like doable. I love that you said sometimes I just do it for like 2 days. I
Yeah.
love the rotisserie chicken idea, you know. Maybe talk about the basics of what you want to include to
Mhm.
kind of keep blood sugars and, you
Mhm.
know, cholesterol and stuff down. So I'm gonna let you take over because you
Yeah.
know all that. So tell us
Yeah.
what you
I
do.
make notes too, so I'll be sure to talk about this.
Okay.
One of my biggest passions in my life, and I feel like God has called me to do this, is as a pharmacist, I see so many times where patients come in and I just like to counsel them and say, hey, I see you haven't started this cholesterol medicine before. You know, do you have any questions? And they say, well, I went to the doctor, they did some labs, and they just called this in. They didn't talk to me about it. They didn't tell me what this is. So what is this? You know, so I feel like my job and our job in the community as the pharmacist is to educate people. And I see so often, and I know we've talked about this too, I see so often where this happened recently too. A young girl, I think she was like 28, the doctor put her on blood pressure medicine. And she said her blood pressure, she told me her blood pressure, and I thought, well, that's not even very high. And so I asked her, I was like, well, have you been checking it each day? Like, what does it normally run? Because a lot of times I see doctors, nurses, they want to prescribe prescriptions for someone who may have what we call white coat syndrome. They come into the doctor's office and they see someone like a doctor in a white coat and they're nervous and they're scared. They don't. So you get your blood pressure taken and it could be through the roof or it could be out of the range of what we call normal. And so they're like, oh, well, she needs to be on medicine. But when I talked to this girl, this young lady, I said, well, what does it usually run? What is your number? What are your numbers usually? And she's like, oh, well, they're this, and this. And I'm thinking, well, why would they put her on blood pressure medicine? Because her numbers sound great. So I see so many times in the community as a community pharmacist. Like I said, I've been with Publix for 6.5 years, and I was with CVS even as a technician and an intern for 10 plus years, a little over 10 years. And I just see so many times where in America, we're so used to prescribing prescriptions, and it's just kind of we're fixing things just temporarily. We're putting a Band-Aid on it, and we're not getting to the root cause. I see so many people on medication for diabetes, starting with metformin. That's the first line treatment. Everybody gets on metformin if they're pre-diabetic. You know, I mean, these things, they're on blood pressure medication and they're on cholesterol medication. And I want to be able to educate people to say, hey, yes, medication is wonderful and it's great when it's needed. But at the same time, I want to be able to tell people, hey, we can fix so many things if we work on our bodies and just changing our lifestyle. And like I said earlier, I don't like the word diet because people think, oh, well, I need to go on a diet. It's not about a diet. It's about health, you know, a healthy lifestyle, a healthy living healthy. And you can do that. You can lower your blood sugar by walking. I mean, everybody can get outside and just do a 30-minute walk. I know you love to walk. Walking, and they've even done studies now that show that walking, people who run a lot, like walking is just as beneficial as running. So at least 30 to 45 minutes a day. Who doesn't want to get outside in this beautiful fall, somewhat fall weather? I'm wishing.
I know.
Changing things like that, like just exercising, getting up. And unfortunately, this day and age, there's so many more people that I see that are sedentary. They're not getting up, they're not walking, you know, and walking, just exercise in general, it's a benefit. It benefits your body so much. Like you get the endorphins, you get happy, you know, you get outside, you get vitamin D. So many people are deficient in vitamin D. You get vitamin D, that helps with your immune system. It helps with your mood. And I see so many people on antidepressants, and not that that's a bad thing, but there are other options. As far as cholesterol, yes, I know genetics plays a big role in a lot of medication use as well. Sometimes you can do all you can, but sometimes you're still going to have possibly be on a medication. So just changing the meal prep idea. There's so many people who are quick to go to eat fast food. And, you know, I'm going to be the first to say we have 3 kids. We have soccer, we have baseball, we have all the things, homework. There are nights when I'll just go pick something up. It may be like tzatziki's or something. It's a healthier option. And I know people think, well, I don't have a lot of money to spend because things are so expensive. Well, I mean, you can do, I love to batch cook. Just get some chicken breast or a pork tenderloin, put it in your crock pot, and then you can make taco bowls, or you can, I mean, you can make so many different things if you just make just like a bunch of chicken or a bunch of potatoes. I mean, you can eat that at home and just kind of reuse it, repurpose it, just make different recipes. So I feel like a lot of people, if we teach people more about, here in America, if we teach them more about a healthier lifestyle, then we can get people off of some of these medications.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had quite a few of my patients at work, you know, I'll talk to them and I say, hey, well, here's my professional opinion. This is what I think might be best. You know, this again is my opinion as a professional, as a pharmacist. This is what I believe. You know, of course, I'm always telling people, the patients, hey, talk to your doctor, you know, and these are kind of the things I think would be beneficial. And I think if maybe we do this, you know, then we can slowly start to take people off certain medications. Now, like I said, there are people who are going to need to be on medications for the rest of their life. You know,
Right.
Pharmacist, I believe there is a need, but I believe at the same time, so like going back to blood sugar, I see so many, you know, I love TikTok. I see, you know, and I'm going to be the first to say I love a good frappuccino, iced latte drink. I love those. They're great. But I see so many people drinking these sugary drinks from Starbucks, and they're not understanding that, yes, they taste so good, but they're loaded in sugar. And this sugar causes diabetes, of course, and it can cause, especially women, it can disrupt our hormones. I mean, there's so many things that high blood sugar can do. And another thing, people, you know, I would like for people to be more mindful of reading labels. I know that kind of sounds daunting, but I see so many times I go to the store and you see this healthy smoothie. It says, oh, it's organic. It's got 15 grams of protein. But if you look at the label, it's got 45 grams of sugar. And you don't need that. So sometimes, and that goes back to my marketing degree. In America, unfortunately, marketing, you know, making things pretty and saying there aren't many laws and like regulations on certain things. They kind of can get away with certain things, companies can, and they can say, well, it's organic and it's this and that, but it may not necessarily be healthy for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want people to be able to, you know, not drink so much sugar because it's causing so much, you know, so much blood sugar issues in America. And
Right.
cholesterol, you can do things like adding fiber into your diet. That helps with your blood sugar as well. And so fiber helps the cholesterol not be absorbed in the wrong spot like your bloodstream. So it keeps the digestive tract and helps lower your cholesterol. So just simple things like that. And it goes back to meal prepping and just kind of starting with the basics, just batch cooking things and just kind of starting small and kind of working your way up. And so you don't have to just meal prep a whole week and be overwhelmed. You just start from small steps for a healthy lifestyle.
Yes. Let me ask you this because I had to run to Walmart today because this is pumpkin bread season time and I'm making pumpkin bread for all the schools, you know, every day. So I needed to run over there and pick up some eggs because I'm always going through a lot of eggs.
Yeah.
But then of course I have to go through the aisles to pick the canned pumpkin. But I have heard, and I wanted to ask you, I've heard that a healthier lifestyle is to shop the outside of the grocery store more than going down the aisles. Have you ever heard of this?
I have not, but it makes sense because
the outside, you know, you're going to have your produce and then you're going to have your cheeses and then you're going to have your milk and your eggs and, you know, all of it's on the outside, whereas more the inside aisles tend to be a lot of boxes.
Yeah.
Which, you know, so anyway, as I was walking up and down the aisle today, I kind of noticed the store a little bit more that, you know what? Well, and you're also in Publix, so thinking about that, but you haven't heard that before, but it makes sense.
It makes sense especially from a marketing standpoint, you know, I mean, that's kind of keep the healthy stuff on the outside, but then everybody wants to go in with all the cereals that have sugar, and then the yogurt, all of the, well, I was gonna say yogurt would be on the other side, but like all of the processed things. Yeah. And this is something that people probably think I'm snobby or crazy, but I know things are a little pricier, but sometimes if you read the label, even on a can of black beans, if you read the label and you see the ingredients and it says water, sea salt, black beans, perfect. But then there's so many times like on these things, you think, oh, well, I'm going to get a can of black beans. It's going to be healthy. But they add some like EDTA, like all kinds of just toxic chemicals in there to preserve it in that can. So it's just kind of being mindful of those things. And I'm not one of these just, I don't eat anything bad. You know, we do cream of chicken soup at my house. I grew up on that. And I know that's like
me too.
better, but I love the Pacific brand because it has better ingredients. So it's just those kind of things, because processed foods, that goes back to processed foods, all the sodium in them causes high blood pressure.
Right.
People shop on the outside, maybe fresh fruits and, you know, beef, the chicken and all those things, you know, maybe we could help get this just high rate of just obesity and cholesterol issues, blood sugar and high blood pressure and all these things.
Right.
Just fix it. So
yeah, kind of, yeah. I know, like, and our followers have, you know, we've been on this health journey with Daryl in the last, it's been about 10 months now. And, you know, definitely like my cookbooks are full of all of those recipes that we all grew up on that are so yummy and so delicious.
yes.
But we definitely have been more mindful and, you know, like the no snacking and not eating past 6 o'clock in the evening. And, you know, he has been wearing a CGM. You and I have talked about this, but he's been wearing a CGM, and he, after lunch, goes for that 30 to 45-minute walk, and it lowers his blood sugar. It's kind of cool to see how that works. And then I'm glad that you mentioned the fiber, because, you know, he drinks this fiber, you know, that really does help keep things more level. And what is your thought, or have you heard much about the intermittent fasting, a little bit of intermittent fasting? Or do you have any opinion or thought about that?
Absolutely. Yeah. So my aunt is the type where she is 120 million%. She's going to do something, and she's got her mindset to it. She's doing it. And she always tells me, she says, Julie, we don't want to be mediocre, you know? And I'm just like, well, I want to be mediocre today, you know?
Right.
She's someone who I'll look up to so much, because she's so big into like all the healthy things, because God has given us the things that the things we need. We don't need all the processed engineered stuff like that. Like, God has given us the ability to farm and have vegetables, and if we want to do meat, we can do that too. But it's just, and if you ever go to another country, and thankfully I have been blessed with that opportunity, you don't see the so much processed food like we have here in America. You don't see that over there, and it's just kind of like, it's an eye-opener kind of thing. So but yeah, just making sure you just looking at what you're eating, and you know, I love all your recipes, and I grew up on this stuff, and then I'll be the first to say I eat all kinds of fun stuff. You know, I'm not going to sit there and not mac and cheese or like you know, casseroles. I love a good casserole. So, and it's all about kind of balance.
It is a balance. It definitely is a balance.
Yeah.
So kind of, let me see, we could talk forever. We've been, you know, talking for about 40 minutes or so. So, all right. I wrote myself a couple of little notes.
Okay.
So two things that I think that I really want you to answer, and then maybe if you have anything that we haven't covered that you wanted to, then add that. But when you are creating a meal prep, what are the things that you feel like should be included in that?
Yeah. So first thing, if I can't get any of my goals for the day, I want to at least drink my water. So I try to aim for like 80 to 100 ounces a day. So water is essential. And then a lot of times when we drink that much water, it can deplete our electrolytes. So I want people to understand that, yes, drinking water is amazing, but we also need to hydrate our bodies with the essential, like the magnesium, the potassium, all the things that water can deplete in us if we drink too much. So I'll do a sugar-free liquid IV in all my water for the day. That's one thing, because that's so essential, because when you become dehydrated, your brain is foggy, you're tired. I mean, so many different things. Your body requires water to live. So that's a major part of my meal prepping. And the second thing is, if I don't hit any other goal, I'm going to try my best to hit my protein goal. And I'm going to have at least 100 grams of protein. And one of the ways that I love, oh, you go ahead.
Well, just tell me, so 100, how do you decide like how much protein you should have? Is that 100 like based on just age, weight, general, this is what you should be getting?
Yeah. So, and that's another thing, females and males, it's different. And there are resources online that you can, you can just Google protein daily intake for female who's 54 years of age, something like that. And then also you have to be mindful of, it kind of gets a little tricky, because if people have certain disease states like diabetes, high blood pressure, like some of these things, we have to be mindful of some other things as well. But generally, we want to hit our protein goals, men, women, like that, especially women, that's the thing. We want to hit our protein goals. So usually like at least 60 to 90 grams a day, and that's on the lower end. That's perfect. But of course, we don't want to eat too much protein, because sometimes it cannot be the best for our bodies, especially women. But I try to do that. So with that being said, I'll have a protein coffee. I love a protein coffee. I try to hydrate myself before I drink the caffeine. So I'll drink my at least 40 ounces of water first thing in the morning, but I'll do a protein coffee, and then I'll add my protein shake powder has 20 grams. And then I have a collagen kind of thing. It's like a gut healthy collagen mix as well. It's 10. So that's 30 grams of protein right there. So you really want to, for me and the research that I've seen, you want to kind of get as much protein as you can in the morning.
Okay.
So with that being said, I'll do that. Or I love my yogurt bowls, my high protein yogurt bowls. And I'll throw in, I know a lot of people don't like cottage cheese, but it's really not that bad. I'll throw in some low fat cottage cheese with my ratio, 25 grams of protein that has, I think it's just like 2 or 3 grams of sugar. It's not a lot at all. And then I'll just put some fruit on it, because the fruit is essential for fiber. You want that fiber in every meal that you eat. You want to get some kind of fiber. So it helps to absorb what you're eating in the right places in your body and do what it's supposed to in the right way. So, that's 25 grams of protein. That's not including, sometimes I'll put in, if I don't do a protein coffee, sometimes I'll put my protein powder, it's vanilla flavored. I'll put that in my yogurt and my cottage cheese. And that's like 30 to 40 grams. So I try to protein load in the mornings. And then for lunch, I like to do batch cooking, where I just cook, my husband will grill a bunch of chicken breast, and I'll just chop them. You can put that on a salad with apples. There's some fiber.
Right.
Berries, that's good. Green leafy, that's perfect too. Green leafy vegetables. You could saute some zucchini or something like that, or just put it on the salad. Sweet potatoes. And I know that I've been told too a lot is making sure you get your carb heavier meals earlier, because of course you don't want to get your carb heavier meals closer to the end of the day, because your body, it's harder for your body to do what it needs to do, like with your blood sugar, when you're resting or asleep thing. So making sure you're getting your carbs and your proteins kind of earlier in the day. And then so, I'll do some more chicken or potatoes or something, steak or something at night, something.
Okay.
And I totally forgot about this question real quick. The intermittent fasting.
Yes.
So I do that as well, because there have been so many great studies that show that it works. And I'm going to be the first to tell you, I was like, there is no way in this world that I can go that long without eating. I'm going to die. I'm a little dramatic, but I said, there's no way. I'm going to be hangry, and nobody's going to want to be around me. I'm going to be the worst person.
Right.
Because I have food, and my body, I have to eat food.
Right.
But to do those kind of things, we have to be cautious with people who have blood sugar issues, because you kind of have to watch your sugar because sometimes your sugar can drop too low and then you can pass out and hurt yourself, all of
Right.
that happen. But there are so many days, and that's what I was going back to say. My aunt does this too. There's so many days where I may not eat until 12 o'clock. I'll make sure I hydrate myself really well and
Right.
eat till about 12. And then once 12 hits, I'll do like 12 o'clock, 2 to 3 o'clock. And then I'll have my dinner like 6 or 7 or so. And
Right.
after that, from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., that's a fasting period as well. And
Right.
I actually had gestational diabetes with my third child, and unfortunately, it has still hung around with me. And so I have to be very mindful of what I eat, and especially later, because I can tell if I eat past 7 or 8 o'clock at night. My problem was always my sugar during the day was great, it was beautiful, but my sugar, where it really is hard for me, is when I'm asleep. My body's not doing what it needs to do to get rid of that excess glucose in my body, and then I wake up and my sugar's through the roof and I feel awful.
Yeah.
So just making sure that I don't eat past 7 o'clock, water of course, but nothing past, and then having that fasting window, it has really helped me a lot too. And then when I wake up, I know my sugars, I'm not going to feel awful. So
Right.
something, there's so much research on fasting and doing that. Your body, it's good for you not to eat sometimes. So I had to that and retrain my brain, and thankfully I have survived. I'm still alive.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And I think, yeah, I mean, I just know that it seems like, and my mom and I were having this conversation. I think it was my mom. I don't know. But just about like, kind of when we were kids, we would be outside playing or whatever, and you'd come in and you'd want to get something to eat, and you might hear, don't eat that cookie or that cake or whatever, because it's going to spoil your dinner.
it's true.
So there wasn't all this snacking all day that, we have so many conveniences and so many restaurants and so many all of it everywhere. But I know here at our house, with Daryl and me, we have been doing that intermittent fasting in the morning, and then blood sugars have stayed low, and then introducing fiber, that's been good. But you have, gosh, we could talk forever, but there is one other thing um, so the last question I want to ask you is if you have one piece of advice for someone who wants to be healthier,
Mm-hmm.
but they feel stuck.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have an idea what you might say, but if they wanted to be healthier, what is just something really simple that they could just start to do?
Yeah, and I know that it can be so overwhelming, and there's so many things on social media about doing this fad or that fad or this fad. There's so many things, and you can get bogged down in that. Honestly, I would say make sure to drink water.
Drink water.
Start small. It's not a diet. You don't have to starve yourself. You don't have to eat lettuce and chicken and that is it, and hard-boiled eggs, because I hate eggs, but I'll still try to eat them, but they're disgusting to me.
I don't like them either, Julie.
Yeah. They're just, nobody, don't give me eggs. I can't do it. I did like fried eggs on toast. I'm just like, I'm not doing it. But just, it can be so overwhelming. And if I could give any advice to anyone, don't listen to all the fads and you need to do this and that. Start with, like you said, shopping on the outside perimeter of the store. Yogurt is good. Just make sure it's not loaded in sugar, and you can get protein from that. And then milk and eggs. If you like eggs, you can do that. But just a lot of times what I see where people fail is they find this website and they find this meal plan, and it's so strict, and so you can eat 1 hard-boiled egg and 2 pieces of toast and a salad for lunch, and oh, I don't like fish. Do what you like. What do you like to eat? Do you like chicken? Okay. Do you like salmon? Okay. Fish? Great. Just start small, because it's so overwhelming and there's so much information out there. But start small. Eat something better for breakfast, and just slowly start to transition, because so many people fail because they go, it's like complete cold turkey. They cut everything out, all the bad things, the bad habits that they've been doing. Some people can do that. I cannot do that. Like my aunt can do that, and she's like, never back. I can't do that. So you kind of have to start small and just make those tiny small changes and incorporating that like a habit into your daily life. Just start walking once or twice a week. You don't have to walk every day. You don't think you have to marathon. Just start slowly and just kind of work your way up to it so it's not so overwhelming. And because so many people get off of their diet because I can't do this anymore. I'm starving to death. And you don't need to starve yourself. You can eat foods and great foods, and you can eat carbs, and they're good for you. And so that would be my advice, is just kind of change your lifestyle. If you want to do a healthier lifestyle, start small. Don't go and get crazy and buy everything organic and all the things.
Yeah.
You don't have to have organic, but just start small.
So start with water. Make sure you have some good water intake.
Yeah.
Movement.
Yes, absolutely.
Movement. And make maybe just one or two small changes.
Yeah. Kitchen. It's all in the you eat. Yeah.
Right.
Kitchen.
And probably don't eat later.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Past 7, and that's one of the hard things that I was having an issue with, because I worked till 9 o'clock at night as a pharmacist, and I would get home and there were some days where I was starving to death because I literally shoveled my food in so fast. And so I get home and I'm hungry, but that was causing issues with my blood sugar when I would wake up, feel it, and it was really as a struggle for me. So just make sure you're not eating past 7 so that your body can, whatever you've eaten that day, your body can use it the correct way, and the way that you need it to be used in order for you to be healthy and not bad way. And snacking, of course. Yeah, snacking will get people so fast. It adds up. If you've ever logged your food, which I have quite a few times, if you've ever logged your food, you're going to realize, like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's my limit. I might as well just eat the whole bag of chips now, So
I know. And that's where I go too. I'm like, I've already done it. Might as well, whatever.
Yeah.
And I do like I'm sorry, but I do like what you said. I have really concentrated or thought, there's this thing out there and that thing. There's all these different things, but what is sustainable? What is sustainable? And so, like I said, for Daryl and I, we've done this little bit of intermittent fasting, introducing the fiber, and just not snacking and watching what you eat. Is we eat a lot of the same things, but just making some small shifts, and it has made a huge difference. So anyway, you are a dear. So where can people find you? We already mentioned it early, but I'm sure we've had people come on. So where can people follow you, find your recipes? Tell us all the things.
Yes. Well, you can find me on Facebook, of course. It's the Meal Prep Mamacita. And then on Instagram, same thing, the Meal Prep Mamacita. TikTok as well, the Meal Prep Mamacita. And then, of course, I have a website, and it is themealprepmamacita.com. So, my recipes, I've been a little busy with life, but a lot of my recipes I like to post on my Facebook page and my Instagram. And if there's any questions about anything, y'all just send me a message, and as soon as I see them, I will try my best to respond and answer any recipe that you want. Send me a message, because I can shoot that over. I do have a cookbook, but I'm in the works for another cookbook, and it's I'm excited. It's more macro friendly. I know that sometimes it can be overwhelming to count macros, but it's more of a kind of thing, just a guide to say, okay, well, here's what you're getting. And if you don't know what macros are, it's just your carbs, proteins, fats, and then the calories, of course. So you can kind of keep up with your protein goals. Just making it real simple, real black and white, just easy.
I love it. I love it. So can you get your current cookbook now?
Yes, you can.
Okay, because I have it and I love it. I just didn't know. Sometimes in our office, we have run out of the cookbooks, and now we have this all the cookbooks are in. But anyway, I just wanted to make sure that yours is out there.
And it's on, I'll post it on my Facebook page as well, but the link is on my Instagram, the Meal Prep Mamacita. It's underneath my name, like my description. And it's a company where I don't have to do anything. You basically click on there, you purchase it, and then they make the book and ship it to you, straight to you. So yeah, it's real easy.
That is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Awesome. So one thing I am going to mention, because we actually, Daryl and I, and you're welcome to come, but we have an event. I want to mention this to our people. Not this Friday night, but next Friday night, September 19th, on Friday night, we're going to be, Daryl and I, you're welcome to come, Julie.
Okay.
We're going to be at the new La Quinta Hotel in Chelsea. And we are going to be talking about health, about all this stuff again, with the insulin resistance and just your health in your body and all that. Daryl and I have taken a dive into all this and we love it. Thank you so much for sharing. You are, I'm going to give this back to you.
Yes. I can't do
You
it.
guys, Julie is as amazing as what you can only imagine and think that she is. You are a beautiful soul. I love your precious family. Thank you so much for coming on, and we can have you back on at another time and just maybe even have a question and answer
Yeah.
time for people. So anyway, I'm going to let you go. And we always finish with, we just remind people to be stronger every day and do hard things.
Hard things. That's right. Love you.
All right. Bye, Julie. Thank you so
Bye.
much. Love you, everyone. Good night. Thanks for
Good
sharing,
night.
Julie. Bye.
Really.